What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And holy shit, this episode, Boruto episode 204, man, that animation, holy. It's not even the animation, the way the episode was so fluid, the way the movements were. Animation was pretty high, don't get me wrong, animation was pretty sick. It was back to like episode 65 type animation. It was pretty nice. But I like the action they gave in this episode. It felt more ninja-like from Naruto Shippuden, where they use a lot of attacks rather than, you know, just using other type of stuff. Like there was more attacks head-on rather than using jutsus. There was some jutsus, don't get me wrong, but they used like the OG Rasengan, a little bit of hint of Chidori here and there, the Mangekyo Sharingan, we got to see the Amaterasu, and we seen Sasuke's Rinnegan in action. Watching this whole scene, this whole episode reminded me of Shippuden days, and oh man, I was excited for this. I'm loving it. Not gonna lie, Naruto and Sasuke caught a big fat L. They got their ass whooped, but that's the whole purpose, which is what I like about that. What I mean by that is Naruto and Sasuke get their ass whooped. Then they know the enemy is strong. Then they come back later, as we've seen in the manga, around chapter 50s, where they fight Ishiki again. But this time, Kurama sacrifices himself to help them beat Ishiki. So that's the thing I like about this. It reminds me of the Shippuden days where the enemy gets defeated, they come back even stronger. But one thing I do believe they kind of messed up on was building up Jigen. Sure, they gave Jigen the character that he was strong, this and that through Kawaki, but that shouldn't have been how they built him up. For example, Pain. Pain killed Jiraiya. We know Jiraiya is strong. Jigen / Ishiki didn't kill anyone beforehand, so we didn't know what his strength was. We first found out his strength by whooping Sasuke and Naruto's ass, which then later on, you know, they try fighting him again. But if they gave that little build up of it, it would have been nice that we know Ishiki's power is terrifying, that these guys were scared beforehand. But at the end of the day, this episode was fire. Now, there are some things that have been changed from the manga and anime. The thing about the manga is Kashin Koji's frog is not in the manga. It disappears after Ishiki arrives at the house, and then Kashin Koji just watches. In the anime, Kashin Koji says he slips a frog into their dimension through the portal, and he's watching their fight, which actually does make sense, but it goes both ways. In the manga, Koji references that he's like, the Hokage and them haven't returned, meaning they either got defeated or something. And then he's like, alright, I'm gonna head out and I'm gonna go fight Jigen or Ishiki myself. So he knows they got defeated. In the anime, he finds out that they got defeated by the end of the episode. When he sees Jigen's at his limit, he knows to go fight Jigen now so he could kill him, because he was watching through his frog. That's the difference between the anime and the manga, which I kind of like. I like it both ways. Manga, you can see that Koji doesn't know if Naruto and them are defeated, but he's like, judging by the time, he looks like they've been defeated. He assumes it, but in the anime, it's been confirmed that they get defeated. The other thing that changed was Ino and Shikamaru's role. So Ino in the manga, when Ishiki first arrives, or Jigen first arrives in Naruto's house, she right away contacts Naruto saying there's a huge unrecognized chakra in your house, and then the rest happens. In the anime, Ino tells Shikamaru Naruto's chakra has disappeared, and last known location was in the Uzumaki household. Which Shikamaru's like, damn. He's like, alright, he's like, I'm heading out there. Which goes on to the later episode where Shikamaru comes to the house and he watches Kawaki and he thinks Kawaki did this. This goes back to the manga where Shikamaru comes to the house and he seals Kawaki in. But we don't know how he knew that Kawaki was gone. That's the thing. So the anime filled that part in. That stuff's been added. That wasn't there. The other part that's been added is Konohamaru and them. With the way Konohamaru got gurked, holy. So yeah, Sarada enters the house with the flowers, and then she drops the flowers. She sees the one, Jonin is hurt, but she leaves him behind and runs to Konohamaru. And then she checks his pulse, he's alive. And then she checks on Kawaki. Boruto and Mitsuki come to the house. A couple of things that were different between the anime and the manga is when Sarada arrives to the house. Now, when she arrives to the house in the manga, she sees that there's blood on the rod. Well, the anime took that stuff away because of stupid censorship. The blood is gone on the rods. So then in the anime and manga, when Sarada sees Kawaki, she runs to him. That stuff's the same. Now, in the manga, when Boruto and them arrive, Boruto's like, oh, thank goodness Kawaki's safe. But he doesn't know Naruto's missing yet, which then goes on to the next stuff. Now, in the anime, when Boruto arrives, he instantly sees Sarada and he runs to her. Kawaki's like, Jigen attack. And then he explains that he took Lord 7. Now, that stuff's been changed. Now, the other thing I want to point out is they also removed the part where Sarada takes off her shoes and runs in the house. Even though that's a small scene, still adds a big difference because she's jumping in and out of the house, but her shoes are coming on, off, because I know they take the shoes off in the house. That kind of bothers me. And then they say what happened, and then Kawaki runs out saying, I need to go find Naruto, and he's in a rush. And then Boruto's like, do you have any leads? And Kawaki's like, no, but I gotta try somewhere. And then the ending part is where his arm falls off, and he knows that the Hokage has died or he's got hurt, as Naruto's chakra runs in Kawaki's arm. But yeah, this episode follows chapter 36, 37, 38. At the end of 36, when Ishiki arrives, he takes Naruto. 37, 38, Naruto and Sasuke fight. Basically, this is the end of chapter 38. Next week's episode is chapter 39. And we're gonna see what happens with the Uzumaki household. Then episode 206 is when they go fight Boro, which makes a lot of sense. Now, the one thing I want to point out is Kawaki's character. Don't get me wrong, I think they're building Kawaki way too fast. I know the anime expands over the manga, but the thing they're rushing here is Kawaki's development. He's getting development way too fast. Now, what I mean by that is Kawaki was introduced to us in episode 189, and literally 10 episodes pass, and Boruto calls him brother. Isn't that way too quick for you to be calling somebody a brother or getting really close to them? Say like a month has passed since Kawaki came and he calls him brother already. That doesn't fit well. Even with Kawaki being really worried about Naruto, Kawaki's been hella abused in the past. Now he's finally showing, you know, some light and everything. But let's say even a month or so, if you've been through severe trauma and you've been with somebody for a month who's been good to you, you would care about them, but not to the extent that Kawaki is caring. That's the thing I don't understand what the anime is doing. They should have stretched out the episodes a little bit more, because the anime is rushing into the manga chapters way too fast, and we're catching up pretty quick. By episode 225, I believe, we'll be around chapter 60. But yeah, I need to give more development on why Kawaki cares. Like, for example, Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke bond grew out through over the Naruto series, the OG, and then came episode 130s when Naruto and Sasuke fought. Naruto's like, I thought of you as my brother. So that stuff makes sense. Well, in Boruto, they're rushing Kawaki's development, and they're putting him into the family way too fast, and it doesn't look natural. That's the thing about the manga content, is that it doesn't look natural at the moment. That's what I think about it. Another thing I want to mention is the fight with Naruto, Sasuke, and Jigen. The way Jigen says to Naruto, he's like, how is your son coming? Is he maturing nicely? And then he points at the karma. He's like, I know he has a karma somewhere on his body. And you can see Sasuke, even though he's injured, he gets a bit surprised. So he knows they're after Boruto. And Naruto snaps saying, don't touch my son or anything. Naruto and Sasuke got their ass beat and they got kicked out of the picture. Sasuke teleports back as Rinnegan while Ishiki was running to him to attack him, but he disappeared. And then Jigen seals Naruto away. Like I said, this episode follows the manga. There's some stuff that's been changed here and there, but like I said, I like the part where they added that Sasuke is worried that Ishiki mentions Boruto and talks to him about the karma, because Boruto is Sasuke's student and he is worried about him, and he even knows what happened that day when Momoshiki's like, you'll lose everything, because Sasuke was watching it all. But otherwise, this episode's nice. I liked it. Now we'll see where the rest goes. I hope they don't mess up the Boro fight animations. I hope they do really good animation with Momoshiki coming. I hope they don't do no Delta versus Naruto type fight. It was okay, but it was a bit disappointing. Like, Momoshiki needs to be shown as badass, so we gotta see where that goes. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos to come, and the manga review is coming after this.